What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the live stream. Give you a little bit of a, this is a little bit of nostalgia here. It's back, we're back in the booth, kind of like, the same room.
The war room.
The war room, this is the command center, and this is how we used to do things back in the day before we used StreamYard. We're still using StreamYard, but, we're having a great time. We're back in the same room. Master Sunday today, Hideki Matsuyama holds the lead, the four-stroke lead against Will Zalatoris, Xander Schauffele, Mark Leishman, and Justin Rose, both at 7 under. So there's a four-stroke lead there, Tone. Do you think that that's enough of a cushion for Matsuyama to maybe have a little bit of wiggle room to, have some mistakes, or is there no room there?
I don't think there is. I think he's going to choke. I think he's going to put a few in the drink. Okay. I think he's going to find some of the hazards that Augusta has to offer. And I just don't think he's going to hold. I think he's going to drop a couple strokes today. I think he's going to finish around that 9 to 10 number. And really? I think one of these guys that are 7 under is going to make a serious push. Obviously, everyone likes to bet with Beeper. Okay, that's kind of the hot hashtag. It's trending on Twitter. Go look at it if you haven't. I put money on Justin Rose today. I sought out some professional advice from our golf expert Soboleski, and he. Oh, Caden likes Will. But Soboleski did say, listen, just throw a little bit of coin on a Rose and see what happens. So it's going to be an exciting finish today, I think.
What's going on, Petty? Bet with Beeper. Remember that? So I have a little bit of mixed emotions on that because with the whole gin picks situation, I like to keep our KDs keep swapping. So, you don't really look at the numbers. You look at the KD. So Everything comes down to KD. I'm trying to annihilate.
Are you
Tony.
winning right now?
I'm up. I think
By
I'm up
like
0.03 on you right now. I got the gin picks pulled up. Let me get them pulled up right here. So, I'm up 1.
Oh,
So
that's about as tight as it gets.
So let me share the screen real quick. So I'm at 1.49. Tony is at 1.48. As you can see here, I'll do a little zoom action so you can see a little better. But yeah, 1.49. Tony's at 1.48.
That's
so
tight.
It's really close. See, like Bree knows what she's talking about.
Bet with Bink. I mean,
I like that.
They,
I was trying to think of one that kind of rolled off the tongue for me, but
listen, bet with Beeper. Now listen, is bet with
like
Bink listen, controversy is that piggybacking off of bet with Beeper? But it sounds good. Petty's picks, bet with Bink, fade bet. Petty, listen, buddy, you took one on the nose.
I mean, you can feed off each other, whatever. We don't really want to get into specifics. Don't need to get too much in our feels, okay? We'll leave that for those people that want to do that. So, we're looking at as well as we're looking at the Masters scoreboard too. So we got Matsuyama, like I said, a couple guys, 4 players there at 7 under. You got Corey Connors at 6 under.
The Canadian
at 5 under. Brian Harman at 4 under. John Rahm has even been told that he could possibly be a threat going into Sunday here. Sobolewski being one of those guys that told us that he could possibly be a threat going into Sunday. I don't really know if I understand that. Maybe, possibly. But he's got a lot of work to do. He's got a lot of work to do going into the final day here. So I guess, how do you feel about these maybe contenders? I would say, anywhere from, look at Finau, he's 3 under. I think Siwoo Kim is out of it.
I think to me personally, you go Jordan Spieth and up. I think you go Spieth up. Those are the guys that I think can really make a run at this whole thing. And Sobolewski's been pretty spot on who he's picked, who he put in his top 10 and things like that. So, to me, I just think one of those guys, 7 under, is going to make a push. John and I talked about that earlier. But what it's going to come down to is, of those guys that are 7 under, who has the most experience? This Zalatoris guy, this Will, whatever his name is, haven't really heard of him much. I mean, he's poked around a few top 10s here recently. Xander Schauffele, he's been in the hunt lately as well. Mark Leishman, he can do it, but I think Justin Rose has the most experience out of those guys. So I'm looking for him to make a final round push to put on a green. Has he ever won one?
Has who won one?
Justin Rose.
I don't know if he has a Masters. I don't think he has. He's the Olympic champion.
Yes.
In 2016. So he is the Olympic champion, the reigning champion for the Olympics after golf was brought back to the Olympics after
which I think is
decades.
Hype.
And that's another thing that we're super excited to host here at Gin Pros is Tokyo. Originally 2020, but now it's Tokyo 2021 coming this July. Very excited for it. That's going to be a major deal. I mean, we got a ton of sports coming up. We kind of look at it. I looked at it, a month ago, and we're like, we don't have football anymore. March Madness is done. It's like we're kind of running out of sports that we can, really cover. No, that's not true. We got the best part of the year has only yet to come.
Right in front of us.
I'm really excited. Masters is wrapping up today. It's been great, been very exciting, been very electrifying this whole time. So we got a lot of sports coming up going into the summer. We have, NBA playoffs coming up. MLB just started.
NHL playoffs are getting ready to,
Hockey's heating up. So as everybody knows, me and Tony are big hockey guys. I would say Tony probably, took the reins on the whole the shtick a little more than I did, especially with my Canadian roots. I find that to be a little bit of a surprise, but there's still a lot of the season left, so watch out.
Well, look, I'm a hockey guy. I've been on the ice. Okay, I've been in the locker room. I've put the pads on, and I've had clappers fired my way. So yeah, I took the reins a little bit on the hockey. But listen, don't count Bink out when it comes to hockey. His Canadian side, it's almost the phrase that you like to say, the squeaky
wheel gets the grease.
Yes. So hockey is going to be Bink's squeaky wheel here shortly, I think. And he might run with it. But now let me ask you this, John. I've given my advice on my recommendation, who I think is going to win this thing. Are you leaning towards Rose? I know earlier you said you're leaning towards Rose. Is that where you're sitting right now?
I feel really good about Rose. I mean, if Rose can come, being 2 over through 8 on the first day and finishing the day 7 under.
Yeah.
I mean, that's 10 birdies between the 8th hole and the 18th hole. So that's 10 holes, 8 birdies, or more.
That's mental
birdies.
math.
I mean, he had a couple Eagles in there. I mean, he played phenomenal. You look at that. If he played 7 under all 3 days, he's been 7 under at the end of every single day of the Masters thus far.
Yeah.
So he shot, 65, 72, 72. So I'm expecting a little bit of a comeback from Rose. I mean, today's the last day to do it. Make it happen. I mean, you're the Englishman.
You're right.
Haven't had a Masters. Don't have a green jacket in the locker yet. So I think today's his day, and I like Rose to win it.
What about the Canadian? So this Connors kid, he's a young kid, right? He's a young kid, isn't he?
He's a young kid. Yeah.
Yeah. Sitting at 6 under, teeing off at 220. So what's crazy is 240. I mean, all these guys are teeing off here in the next 40 minutes. Okay, that everyone's teeing off here in the next 40 minutes. So it's going to be super exciting. I know John and I are going to be glued to the TV, once these guys tee off because we're excited to see them. So do you think the Canadian kid could make a late push? I mean, maybe crack himself into the top 3, maybe top 5.
I think Corey Connors can make a push. I mean, if he starts off well in the front 9, I think he can get to 10 under through 9. So that's 4 birdies. Limit the bogeys, but there's a lot of scoring opportunities there in that front 9 to get to 10 under. If you can get to 10 under within the first 9, then you leave that the rest of the 9. Say you got like a 3-stroke deficit,
you're
3 to 5 stroke deficit going into the back 9. I feel like you're feeling pretty good. That even goes for Brian Harman, Spieth, or even John Rahm or Finau. I mean, these guys have both made runs in the past. They're heating up big time. I guess if we want to talk about people that we're not too impressed with, I can talk about, Rory McIlroy, DeChambeau,
DJ
really fell apart. Yeah,
DJ didn't make the cut.
DJ really fell apart, and he was showing to be really promising after the first and second day. The second day he fell apart. The first day he was holding on by a strand. And then you got, people like Tommy Fleetwood sitting at 1 over. Billy Horschel just fell apart.
Justin Thomas. I mean, can we – okay,
JT.
Let me say this.
There's a lot of guys. I mean, Augusta beat people up this year.
Let me say this. Justin Thomas, never again. Never again. To me, you are the Arizona Cardinals to me, and I'll never put myself out there for you ever again. It's not going to happen. Justin Thomas, equal sign, Arizona Cardinals.
Bink, what's the hair routine?
I mean,
you're talking about? You like it?
There's a lot of volume with it today. I mean, Bink, the hair is very voluptuous.
It is. I got to give little Binky the credit for this. And I told him, well, I got to give him some credit, but I also got to give a lot of credit to myself. Okay. And let me tell you,
I've got the hair follicles.
Let me tell you why. So I'm like, Bink, give me a little fade. Take it up pretty high, but leave a little bit of room to fade it in there. He just botches the side of it, and it goes all the way to the top. We call this the crown in the hair cutting world. Okay, took it up to here, went way up. There's a huge dent here, and then it dropped down. This side was perfect. But he cut it up way too high. I'm like, that's too much to even blend one on this side, and then to even you have to almost intentionally mess it up on this side. So I'm gonna just take it all the way up with a 1. Try to blend it up, take a little bit of volume out of the top, and then just leave it at that.
Did he touch the top at all? Did he touch the top?
He thinned it out. I actually had him, do some scissors up there, and I did some of that too. If you get it really wet, you comb it back. You can take it and you just pretty much just take the tips off.
Yeah,
because the hair will grow at different lengths at different speeds. So basically, I just had him even it out, take a little bit of those errant hairs out of there.
It looks good.
I don't think it looks too bad.
I think it looks good.
Thanks, Patty, for the comment.
I think it looks good. But anyways, you know what, Bink? Go ahead and create a banner right now. I want the banner to say this: Justin Thomas, equal sign, Arizona Cardinals. Okay, they are the same thing. I will never make this mistake ever again. Thank you. I'll never make this mistake again. We've bet money on Arizona. We've lost money on Arizona. I went out on a limb and put TV's turned off now.
Listen, I don't want to deal with any more copyright and BS because I just thought about that. Listen, it's Masters. It'll come back on as soon as we go off air. But I don't want to deal with anymore. We had some copyright issues where we were streaming
Big Tech's coming
some
after us.
March Madness games. And
Big Tech's coming after
They're
us.
on us like they've never been before. So we've received a copyright strike on our YouTube account. Don't want to have it happen again. It's just a warning, little slap on the wrist, but we don't want to risk that anymore. So I just thought about that just a second ago. So I just wanted to,
quick little brain blast.
just take it out and,
So
err on the side of caution.
do you think Justin Thomas is now in our category of teams that we will not put money on?
He's just shown as of late that we can't count on him to score well in high intensity
When we need him to.
high intensity situations. I think ever since he had that little slip up where he lost his sponsorship with Polo Golf, that really kind of got into his head. And then he lost his grandpa. So he's kind of gone through a lot this year. He's been put through the ringer quite a bit this year. So he's not really feeling his best. He wanted to bounce back and, come back and do what he has to do. But I think he still has a little bit of, to be able to overcome what he's went through this year. It's been a roller coaster. And I don't want to say he's at his, mid-career crisis, because I don't think he's there yet. Golf is a very, you can have a lot of longevity with golf based on how, how active you are, how healthy you keep yourself. So I don't think he's there yet, but I think he's experiencing a little bit of that. This is my life now. I gotta, he's been a professional golfer for a long time. So it's not like it's anything new to him, but he wants to reach that next caliber of his career, and going through these different life events, it makes it tough on him. He has to find a way to act and react to the different things that affect him in his personal life, and see how he can see it right now, how it's been affecting his professional career in the sport of golf. So once he finds out a better way to manage that, I think he'll be on his way. But right now, he's not in a great spot.
Listen. So Bink dove really deep into that. Okay, what I'm going to do is just sum it up and say I'm not putting money on the guy. I'm not. There's too much going on upstairs, too much going on between the years. Okay, he's not ready for this. And we even said guys like Brooksy Koepka coming off knee surgery, just got engaged to an absolute smoke show of a fiance. So Brooks Koepka, listen, let me just give you a round of applause for that. I mean, you did well in that department, my friend. You did very well in that department, but you didn't do very well in the department that pays the bills. Okay, she just spends your money. You got to make it, and you didn't do very well at that. So, kind of a different Masters. I mean, a lot of guys at the top of the leaderboard that we don't normally see. But listen, it's been a fun one so far, and I'm telling you what, Bink and I are on the edge of our seats to see who is going to pull this thing out.
Exactly. I mean, you look at Jon Rahm, he's through 4, 3 under. Morikawa's through 8, 3 under. This is just today that they're 3 under too. I mean, Jon Rahm
was even going into today.
He was even going into today, and so Bolesky actually hit our group chat that we got, and he's like, Jon Rahm, ? Could be making a run. You never know. I mean, the Masters, you look at the scores right now, 7, 8 under could easily win the Masters.
And it normally does. And that even
when it's firm and fast, it does.
Yeah. So that's something those scores are winning scores. So
course is really firm today.
I mean, let's really look at it. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We got 8 guys. Okay, that could potentially win this if Matsuyama just absolutely drops a deuce in his pants. Okay, and if he just takes a Cleveland steamer right in his pants, then there's 8 guys that could win this thing. All right, now it's going to come up to it's really on his shoulders if he's going to win this thing or not. And would he be the first Japanese player to win the Masters?
He'd be one of the first. I'll tell you that. I don't know if he is the first or would be the first, but I'd have to do some more research on that. I don't know, but I honestly, I was talking to Tony about this earlier. It'd be surprising to have a Japanese player win the Masters,
because we just never see it.
It's an American tournament. Then you got Mark Leishman up there. Justin Rose, he's an Englishman, not an American. And then we've seen people that are foreign to the country win it before. I mean, Adam Scott's from Australia, he won it. And you got different players like that. And Petty just did the research on us. He would be the first.
Go.
So
there you go.
First,
which I figured he would be. I mean, I haven't heard it.
Yeah.
But listen, that'd be huge for the country of Japan. Obviously, they finally have a Masters winner, which I don't know how serious I don't know how serious they take golf.
Yeah,
They're more into samurai sword stuff out there, aren't they?
Kamikaze missions.
Kamikaze, yeah. They're not really necessarily into the whole Masters thing. I don't even know if they're watching. I don't know if the country of Japan is watching the Masters right now. But if they are,
they have to be.
If they are, you have a fellow countryman who's leading the thing. So we'll see. It'll be really interesting to see how this whole thing plays out. I'm just fingers crossed for Rose, that he's gonna make a late push and put a little bit of cheddar in my back pocket today.
That could easily happen. Then you look at Jon Rahm, he's from Spain. Sergio Garcia's won it. He's from Spain. So there's people that are, living around us and also, call home somewhere abroad that have won the Masters before. So I guess it wouldn't be the first time that a foreign person won the tournament, the Masters tournament major. But definitely it'd be, obviously Petty did the research on us. Matsuyama would be the first Japanese player to win. So best of luck to all the players. I guess we kind of gave our outlooks. Feel free to share your outlooks. I see we got some viewers in here. Let us know who you think's going to win, if anybody, and we'll touch on that for a quick second.
Look.
Yeah.
Here's what it boils down to. Okay, John, and you made a really good point earlier. It boils down to who has the experience to go into the final. Because listen, you know how sweaty these guys' palms probably are right now?
They're sweaty, and they're probably not even at the course yet.
They're
getting there. They got to tee up. It's going to really start heating up here in the next, half hour.
Right, because they're warming up right now. They've probably been warming up for the last hour.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
They've probably been warming up for the last hour.
Yeah.
Their palms are sweaty, as Eminem likes to say. Their knees weak. Their arms may or may not be heavy. Don't copyright us for that. We don't own the rights to that. Big Tech's after us all.
They're watching us right now.
They are. We just had a new viewer. It probably was Big Tech. It's probably Dan Dockich. But it's going to boil down to who will let the nerves not get to them? And I think Rose just has enough experience to make that happen. Again, I could be completely wrong.
No, you're not.
Based off of gin picks, I've been wrong, almost 100 times, but I've been right more than I've been wrong. So,
well, I'm never wrong, so I don't know.
I don't think I'm ever wrong either. The teams that I pick just don't perform the way that they should.
Yeah,
that's my outlook on it. I'm not wrong with who I pick. I just don't think, the teams that I do pick perform the way that they should.
Sobolewski with a comment. Where's Max?
Okay, here it is.
There it is, Max Homa. Where's Max Homa at?
Okay, so on Wednesday, I went out there and I said my dark horse to win this whole thing was going to be Max Homa. And the reason I said that was because I hit on almost $1,000 bet when he won the Genesis Invitational. Okay. Now, I bet Sobolewski a round of golf that Max Homa would make top 20. Bink, go ahead and can you show us where Max Homa finished?
I think he got cut with 4 over. So he should be right around here. There he is.
Okay. 4 over, didn't make the cut. Okay. Now, oh boy. I owe Sobolewski a round of golf. For that. It wasn't right. I didn't nail that one. Okay. Oh boy. But listen, I'm going to put my foot in my mouth, and I owe Sobolewski a round of golf. So that just is what it is.
So I would call that one minimal risk, maximum reward. If it did come through and hit, you're looking for top 20, which isn't, after winning a tournament.
I don't think unachievable.
It's not unachievable. In that Genesis Invitational tournament, there were some big names.
It's not an easy tournament. It's not like he won the Mott Community College School of the Blind free for all. He won the Genesis.
I'll put the Genesis somewhere between the MCC Invitational Open Classic,
the MCC School of the Blind,
and the Masters. It'd be somewhere in the middle, the Genesis tournament. I guess where would you put the Corona Challenge?
Well, listen, the Corona Challenge is definitely above the MCC School of the Blind free for all. It's above that. Now, listen, Sobolewski, I have a bedtime. I got to be in bed 9:00 p.m. Sobolewski, I'm getting ready to brush my teeth and put my head to a pillow. Geez, oh, Pete's. Do you just not sleep Sobolewski? Are you just ripping and roaring 24/7? I mean, come on. We might have to change 9 p.m. Sobolewski. Well, we're gonna have to change 9 p.m. So I'm gonna be sleeping.
Well, the problem with 9 p.m. is none of our viewers are up at 9 p.m.
No, they're all in bed.
Well, we're chomping at the bit to get people to watch the stream at 8. You know what I mean? So it's tough. Ideally, I'd like to go live, around like 6:37. That's a little bit unachievable for some of my counterparts. I understand that. And I have to be, the jack of all trades because I have to accompany everybody and be like, oh, I can't make it this time. I can make it this time though. Oh, well, I can make it that time. I can do this time. So then you gotta be jumping around.
A lot of your play. It's a lot of jump ropes.
Well, I feel like I'm crisscross the 90s rap group, and I'm jumping all around.
Well, didn't they wear their pants backwards? Didn't crisscross? Weren't they the people? Here, can we look up crisscross really quick? I think crisscross is the group that wore their pants backwards, and they wore their shirts backwards, and they wore their jackets. I'll get you your shirt. Thank you, Sobolewski. 8 p.m. That's way better. What is Geritol? Is it? Oh, okay. Well, we're not going to go out there. I think it's for old people. Is it for old people who have a lack of iron and iron deficiency? Oh, it's for energy. Okay. Yeah, we had some research. It's for energy.
He needs as much Geritol as he can get. So.
Thank you, Sobolewski, for that. So let's look up. I just want a quick crisscross picture. Are we good?
That's right. Trust me.
Yeah, look, everything they wear is backwards. I mean, what?
Damn, these kids look like they're like
what are they 9
years old?
And like, okay, so you got to take a leak. What do you do? What do you do in that scenario?
I feel like that's something you got to like put on, and then you got to change back
after the
what you're wearing, immediately.
Because I mean, that can't be comfortable.
No, I mean, I think are they wearing it like this too here?
Yeah, everything's backwards.
Yeah. So I mean,
and
listen, don't get too caught up on crisscross. All right, I already made my point. We're not getting too caught up on 90s rap groups. Okay?
We should do a segment one of these days. What was the best 90s rap group? One of these days.
We should have Chris Platty on for that.
Yeah.
Austin Petty, thoughts on Tigers right now, Tony?
Well, I mean, listen, they're so fun to watch. They're so fun to watch. This Akil Baddoo guy, I mean, it's taken the team over by storm. They're currently up right now 1-0 against Cleveland. I know they're 3-5, but listen, the games they've lost. So it seems like every day at work the Tigers game is on at work. The games that they've lost have been close, except a couple of them. To me, they're still going to lose 100 games, but they're going to be fun to watch. I think this AJ Hinch guy is going to do really well for him. This Akil Baddoo guy reminds me of Curtis Granderson when Bink and I were in our heyday, watching the Tigers. Super fun team to watch right now, though.
Yeah, I like the Tigers too. I think they have a lot of potential, and their potential is honestly unlimited. Based on their past year's performances, absolutely terrible. God awful. Not even close to 500. It's just like I got it. Their potential's through the roof, and MLB season's so brand new where there's so much opportunity to succeed and to excel and to place well in your conference. So my hopes are high for the Tigers. And speaking on Curtis Granderson, I actually went to an autograph signing where we met. I don't know if Miggy was there. We met Magglio Ordonez. We met Granderson, Carlos Guillen, bunch of Tigers guys. It was really fun. And I commend Petty and his mom for taking us to that. Me and a couple of boys went.
That was such a fun team. That 06 team.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They were incredible.
That 06 team was so fun to watch because it was a team, a bunch of like misfit toys. There was no real superstar, no real studs on the team. It was just a bunch of misfit toys that were slapping baseballs, ripping the laces off the baseballs. Super fun team to watch. God, that was a fun team.
Yeah, well, that was really fun just to be a Detroit sports fan in general. And that was a great time to.
The Pistons were still good. The Wings were still good. The Tigers were, surging.
I mean, the Lions are always trash.
Yeah, Lions were absolutely.
We kind of leave them out of the conversation when we talk about Detroit.
They're almost not even a Detroit sports team.
No, they should just move to Cleveland.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. The Cleveland Lions and the Cleveland Browns. I mean, they're both. Yeah,
It's a match made in heaven.
it is. It really is.
All right, guys. Well, we'll leave that at that today. We'll talk about the Masters final following the end later today. It'll be on our podcast, so make sure to tune into the podcast for that. Stay posted. Just made it an update onto the Gin Pros website, so check it out. Basically, just in a nutshell, said get registered for the Beer Die tournament and get registered for the Corona Challenge. Registration closes in 4 days now.
That seems nuts.
So we're gonna get teams locked in that have already locked in to the Corona Challenge and the Beer Die tournament. We're gonna get them locked in and paid off, and we're gonna mark that in our records so we know who's good to go. They will be notified of that. So get in and get paid as soon as you can, so you can secure your spot. So I really can't tell you how many spots are left, but right now is a great time to get involved, especially for the Corona Challenge. The Beer Die tournament might be a little bit too late, honestly, if you're living too far away to get involved, to get registered in that. If you're in the East Lansing area, you're still in luck to get a spot for the Beer Die tournament, but space is limited for both. So make sure you get your stuff in and get in contact with us as soon as possible if you're interested in that. I'll wrap it up there, though, Tone. What do you got for the people?
I mean, listen, life's too short to bet the under, take the over. Moderation is always going to be for cowards. Bet with Gin as always. Have a great rest of your Sunday. Rest of Masters Sunday. Enjoy it. Embrace it. Drink it in. Okay? Podcast going to be dropped tonight. Gin and tonic on Tuesday. Thank you guys for tuning in.
I'll leave it at that, guys. We'll see you guys later. And take it easy. Enjoy the Masters. See you in a bit.